Welcome to Malcolm and We, heard exclusively on malcolmpresents.com, a streaming platform heard around the world and beyond, wherever that beyond is. And today we have our guest, Janet Grace Nelson. And I'm Malcolm Berman, and my co-host is Yana Larson. Yana, do the privileges of introducing her.
Thank you, Malcolm. Yes, today we have with us Janet Grace Nelson, who, along with her friend Aurora Pagonis of Australia, are both global leadership and empowerment coaches who have come together from across the globe to combine genius and serve the rising of feminine intelligence and leadership. They call on women leaders to unite. Their series of conversations called Together We Rise aim to unite, connect, and inspire women leaders across the globe to be nourished and to co-create incredible projects to support humanity's rising. Aurora and Grace are also founders of She Rises Travel, a transformative travel organization supporting women leaders navigating change. And they will encourage this cultivation of transformation through conscious conversation in good company and retreat style journeys at sacred power centers across the world. They affirm that as we walk sacred lands together across the globe, an amplification of insight and possibility becomes available to us individually and collectively by remembering, restoring, and rising as we midwife Mother Earth to birth the new. And Janet Grace has also founded Grace's Place, a safe place for women who have been victims of domestic violence so that they may heal and gain confidence to reclaim their lives and well being. Just last week, she hosted a gala event to benefit this important endeavor. She is obviously quite busy, so we are lucky to have her with us today. Thank you, Janet Grace, for being here with us.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Yana. Thank you, Malcolm. I'm so grateful and honored to be here with you guys today. And I'm excited to just riff about whatever you want to riff about.
Okay. Okay, now that Ayana has gone through all the accolades and what you do, in other words, what do you do? What are your goals? How do you go about it? Forgetting all the fancy verbiage.
So, without all the fancy verbiage, I've been a women's empowerment coach for over 20 years and just helping women to be the best version of themselves without burning themselves out so that they can't even, function. And in that, helping women to really find their voice, to be able to not only speak up for themselves, but speak up for what matters most to them. One of the issues that matters most to me is as God placed on my heart, it's time to eliminate abuse on this planet in your lifetime. And I just, stepped back, but I've been a domestic violence advocate for almost 20 years. So now I'm just amplifying the movement. And what I've really seen as a visionary is that our children and our children's children and our children's children's children don't even know what the word abuse means, because really in our heart of hearts, every one of us wants peace. And so that's just the little piece of the puzzle that I feel like I'm putting my heart and my finger on. And that's part of the work that I'm doing with Grace's Place Foundation, but it also complements and coincides with the work that Aurora and I are doing in empowering women and taking them to sacred places across the globe, to really allow that aspect of their leadership to find a new voice, to really make the world a better place.
Well, you say the world now. Do you also deal, well, do you also deal with foreign countries? Because, to me, at least, when you're talking about, let's say, the third world countries, it's almost accepted women be abused. If you talk about the Middle East, women don't have any rights.
And truth be told, Malcolm, and this is a really sad fact, but every 21 minutes, a woman or a girl is killed by a domestic violence partner or someone that they know in a domestic violence situation right here in the United States of America.
Oh, really? So you don't have to step out of this country.
No, but my work as a spiritual life coach for over 20 years, I've been taking women to places like Nepal and Greece and Italy and Africa and Egypt, and we sit in sacred circles with other amazing women from the cultures that we go to visit and support and serve at. And we all have the same issues. And I believe that foundationally, a lot of the programs that we're creating through Grace's Place Foundation are also to empower the children. If they know who they are and they have self-confidence and self-esteem and self-worth, they will never let someone else abuse them. So there's so many layers to the work that I'm really passionate about. And I believe that peace is possible, just like Martin Luther King Jr. did, and just like Mother Teresa did, and just like John Lennon did. And I feel like, I'm following their footsteps and really raising the flag, the peace flag, and saying, come on, we're all in this together. That's why we is so important to us. It's so we are all in this together and we can do this. I
Well,
believe in humanity. I
are,
believe in
are you talking about physical violence or verbal violence or both? Verbal abuse.
so the definition of abuse is one person controlling another. It could be bullying on the playground. It could be verbal. It could be financial abuse. It could be spiritual abuse. It could be corporate abuse. It could be, mental, emotional, physical, psychological. I mean, there's so many forms of abuse, but really, when I break things down to the simplest understanding, it really is about one person trying to control another, or one group of people trying to control another. We were born sovereign beings. We are all children of the creator, God, source, whatever you want to label. And we were born free. And I think ultimately, not only do we all want peace, but we all deserve freedom in whatever form that shows up in.
How do you reach out for these people? Do they seek you or do you go out after them?
That's a great question. I would say that Barbara Marx Hubbard was one of my last mentors before she passed away, and now she's just an angel in the room. And she said to me, I would tell you my deepest secrets because I know I could trust that. I could trust that you would hold that and hold it sacred. People tell me things and come to me. And I think part of my work as a spiritual life coach and a minister is to open my heart. And I have so many spiritual practices that allow me to be available and then be able to assist in whatever way I'm being guided to assist them. We're not a We're not a shelter. We're not a triage. Grace's Place is the what's next. So the other statistic that happened in 2020 that became really crystal clear, it used to be women would go back 8 to 9 times before they finally escaped or they're killed. And the children are watching. And during COVID, no one could escape. So the statistics of how many women were killed and how many children watched was just horrific. And so we are the what's next so that they never go back. That's the mission of Grace's Place. And we have programs for children. We raised money so that we could have a physical location, because our ultimate vision is to have a Grace's Place compassionate community to not only support and provide sustainable tools for the women and their children so that they have a strong sense of themselves, that they would never let that happen. But we also have programs for the perpetrators so that they get to understand why, because this is a generational thing. My father learned it from his father, and his father learned it from his father. And we need to break the generational cycle of abuse, because we deserve harmony and peace and every blessing that comes with.
I agree. But again, how do you reach out to these people?
Well, we have a website. We have social media. We have a global a global program that's called Freedom Beyond Abuse, and it's a year-long mentorship program, and we meet every week on a Zoom call, and every week they get a new tool, and we have guest teachers that help with addiction issues or self-esteem issues or legal issues or whatever they're going through. We've created programs to assist them to have sustainable support beyond a 30-day shelter. And after 30 days, they're still bleeding. I mean, they finally got the courage to leave, but they don't believe in themselves yet. So they keep going back.
It takes a long time.
It takes a long
I'm a victim myself, so I know it's just really hard, and it's not easy when you have children and when they're young, and it's not even easy when your children are older. So and so you observed this while you were growing up, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your background? What did you study in college, or how did you get involved with this?
Well, I think my journey of a family situations. I was the second oldest of a family of 5, and my father is a stout German, had a very short temper, and my brother and I were pretty much the victim of his temper. And then growing up, just continuously, my father would raise his fist and do more than that, and then beg for forgiveness. So I learned this, and I was raised Catholic. The things that I was taught in church were not things that I was experiencing at home, and so there was a lot of conflict and I didn't really have anyone to talk to, but I had a very powerful and profound faith. And so I jokingly say that Jesus has been my boyfriend since I've been this big, because he's never left my side.
Oh, cool.
He's always been there. He's always been there with me. And so my journey of deepening my faith and really understanding the powerful gift of having a profound relationship with God on so many levels led me to becoming a minister and an agape practitioner. So, and I've always loved to travel. So combining, and psychology was my minor in college. I was a fashion designer, as my bachelor's degree was in design and art. So I'm just kind of combining a lot of things. Art therapy became very profound. My brother, I lost my brother a little over 2 years ago, and he used art for a very profound aspect of his healing process. And so part of Grace's Place is going to incorporate a creative arts center. And we will have a lot of art therapy for the children, the women, the community. We're working with the mayor of Big Bear Lake right now. And the bigger vision, again, is to have a Grace's Place compassionate community, like an intentional community in every major city across the globe.
Yeah,
Wow, that's important.
yeah. You seem to have, when in your initial explanation of what you're doing, not overlapping, but you're trying to include everything. I mean, I can understand, as far as the individual, the women or children and families and people trying to be dominant, but you also involved in people in controlling things like big business. I mean, how do you deal with that? How do you deal, at least to me, that the gas companies, the order say they're not making any money, but yet they have the biggest profits. Each year they have more and more money, and the gas prices are going up, and they say, "Oh, we have to," but they're making more profits. How about the airlines that are making profits even though they're cutting back on seats? All the big business or trying to control us, or government that is trying to control us.
Wow, you're getting really deep there,
No. I want to know. You have
You're
to.
taking this into a whole nother
No,
realm.
you have to pull back sometimes and pinpoint or try to pinpoint what you're going to do.
Well,
Yeah.
it's systemic attitude that she's
Yeah, but
showing.
then you go into personalities. You go into A type of personalities and B type of personalities. There are a lot of people who want to be controlled, not to be controlled, but they don't want to make decisions. They want somebody else to make decisions for them. Of course, I also believe in the benevolent dictator.
Mhm.
What
Someone
does
that
that
could.
mean?
Uh,
What do you
uh,
mean by that?
well, as you say, if you believe in Jesus, he's a benevolent dictator. But it's sort of someone that's good, that's
So
going to
follow
make
the good.
the right decisions for you. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people don't want to make decisions. They want to go work, make their money, live their life, go on
Who are these
vacations.
people?
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
I hear what you're saying, I think, Malcolm, and I can
I'm
maybe,
not sure I do.
I can maybe address it. I think that there are people that find some comfort in routine
Status
and
quo.
status quo. That feels a sense of safety for them.
Even
Uh,
if it's not pleasant.
yeah.
It's
And Bob Proctor was one of my life coaches, my mentors, and he shared a lot of different things, but he said, unless you're challenging what you came here to do and be and give and have, you either have to get out of your comfort zone, or you're just going to find that permanent place on the couch and really continue to tell yourself, I'm comfortable here.
yeah.
But if you're not growing, there's really not comfort there. Yeah, I mean, we all need to rest. But if we really listen from a place of, what's my life about? What's it all about, Alfie? Like, What am I here for?
Yeah.
You know, what am I here for? And you start thinking about, I mean, there's a lot of people that have been abused and they're really angry. Like they're just bitter. And so that anger perpetrates behavior that's really not acceptable to any form of society. And we could go down so many different rabbit holes. But the truth of the matter is that if we really do believe in a benevolent leader, I'll call him a leader as opposed to a dictator, but that's just my language and that's yours. A benevolent leader that leads from love
And kindness.
and kindness, every face and form of love. So I believe there's really two main energies going on the planet. There's either love, which is a form of expansion, which includes harmony, joy, peace, bliss, expansion, patience, kindness. All of that is the energies of love. Or there's fear, which is constriction. So it's energy that feels like controlling, anger, worry, fear, doubt, resistance, resentment. All of that is this lower energy. So from any moment, we could ask ourselves, does that thought that I'm thinking, one of the 60,000 thoughts I get to think today, is that thought one of love or expansion? Because our thoughts are creative units of energy. Or is that thought of fear or constriction? Which one feels better? And make a choice.
Right. What lifts you up or pulls you down? And
When can I vote for you? I mean, you seem to embody what I'm looking for in a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
We-
I thank you so much because I really feel as if there are things that now need to be said from a perspective or a position of solutions. And we don't get solutions when we're in fear, worry, doubt, constriction, resentment, regret. We have to challenge those thoughts, and the thoughts that turn into some kind of an action that creates a result we don't want. And I just met with the mayor of Big Bear on Wednesday, and she pretty much said the same thing. Do you want a position on the board? Because we need a voice here. And I just want to invite people to think.
Well,
Really think.
that's what our show is about.
Of course it is.
Basically, when I met Yana and I got involved with we the world. I mean, my arm of it. I mean, they're doing great work. My thing is communications. I want to get the word out that this is what people have to do. This is where you could go to do it. Yeah, organizations such as yours. By the way, how could they reach you? You have as you say, you have a website or?
Yes. So gracesplacefoundation.org is the foundation. And then sherisestravel.com is our women's leadership transformative travel company. And we're taking a group of women to Bali in less than 6 weeks. And we're just ecstatic.
And wait, can I join you as token male?
Well, we're going to take a group of men and women to Egypt in 2025. And Malcolm, especially for you, because you're interested in the communication, and so am I. And Egypt is the throat chakra of Mother Earth as an energy center. It's all about expanding our ability to communicate. And Aurora and I took a group there last April, had such a profound experience, and knew we needed to bring another group back. So we're bringing another group back in 2025. So you can find all that information on sherisestravel.com, but it's also for that trip, we're taking men also.
Oh,
You can
wow.
sign up, Malcolm.
Yeah, just to add a little levity, I don't know if you know there's a radio host, Dennis Prager,
Yes.
who's, I mean, his thing is the beginning of the civilization didn't take place in the Middle East. It took place in Brooklyn. And I'm from Brooklyn. So, but anyway, getting back to serious things, you're tackling, a huge uh, I'm forgetting the word, task. Do you think sometimes it would be better to hone in on different parts of it to concentrate on?
No, why stop at that?
No, well, like the big thing is women abuse. I don't know why, when I see TV shows about that, and then my wife says, why does a woman take that? Psychologically, why does she take it? Why does
When
she
your feet
continue
are
to be
nailed to the
abused?
ground, it can be
And she
hard
does it
to leave.
because I love my man. That's a big deal. You love
No,
your
it's
man, but he
not as
Well,
beats you.
simple as that.
she probably learned from her mother,
Right.
and her mother learned from her mother. And even the spiritual work that we're doing on these sacred lands is healing the hearts of our mothers and our grandmothers and our great grandmothers energetically, so that we can release the pre-trauma that is still held in our bodies. And, each one of us as a soul came in here to tackle, some issue that's going on in the world. And for me, it is about communication, because I'm a professional speaker, teacher, coach, now founder of a nonprofit, and leader in the community. It's very important to be able to articulate the issues and then listen for the things that feel like they could really move the needle. So our You're a Star program, for example, our gala was named after it. It was called the Starlight Gala.
Mhm.
And it created such a buzz in all the school systems, and all the women that I coach and take through retreats, and actually have them each have an experience of honoring the qualities that make them unique. So we use this, I created this process years and years and years ago, but it goes just like you were saying, we just kind of riff about things and use language that everyone can understand. So I taught this to the kindergarten children, and I brought a big gold star, and they got to say what their 5 top qualities that they love about themselves that they wanted to honor. So they said, I am smart, I am funny, I am creative, I am intelligent. And then they got to partner up with another kid in the classroom and say what they admired about themselves, and then get the reflection back from their classmate to say, yes, you are.
What I would love to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, we are trying to expand the Malcolm and We format to other shows. I don't know. I don't know how this would work out with you, but I would like to see you tape some of your video, some of your sessions that we could, on an ongoing basis, and have that like for a half hour, 45-minute program that we could put on. It's good you and me talking, or Ayana talking, but I'd like to hear from people who are going through the process. Of course, we could make them anonymous, but it would be also good if they could come out of themselves and admit what they are. but I'd love to see an ongoing thing of once a week or twice a month, whatever would be, where you could take your video there and have it edited down, and we could present it as a show, as a real show that we could put on, and we don't have to have any network approval or anything approval. The approval is myself and Yana to say, yes, we're going on.
Yeah.
So you guys should
Well,
speak, and if you
yes.
do have a desire for that, let us know. I'd love to do that for this coming, this coming year. Or
Yeah.
this coming, yeah. For me, it's a Jewish New Year, it's September.
Awesome.
Oh,
So when you were just saying that, the other thing that came up is like, it's not, and this is what I spoke to the mayor about. It's not necessarily only about eliminating domestic abuse. It's abuse, even self-abuse. Like, what's our self-talk?
yeah.
And if you go onto my personal coaching website is janetgrace.love, because I believe in love and above.
Right.
I recognize that there's faces of fear. I can acknowledge when that happens, worry, doubt, anxiety, resentment, all of those things. But this is where I want to operate from
Right.
to really create solutions for
Right.
humanity.
Janet Grace, I hate to tell you this, but our half hour is up and it went very quickly. But again, what I want to hear is like the personal testimony of people who are going through that, who are trying to take control, to find out how you relate to them.
Mhm.
It's
Well,
quite it's it's fine to talk about it in a vacuum, but we're not living it. I would love to speak to people who are living it.
yeah, there's a lot
And
of
see,
testimonials on our websites.
yeah,
All of them.
okay. And your website again is
gracesplacefoundation.org, sherisestravel.com, and janetgrace.love.
okay. And if you want to integrate your Bali trip, let me know. Anyway,
Posted.
thank you very much for joining us, Yana. Thank you.
Thank
Peace
you
and love.
so much. Peace and
Bye.
love.